Top story on India Reports this evening. This is warped logic at its best and callousness at worst. Gujarat Chief Minister Narendra Modi, well, he's in the news for other reasons, has attributed his state's high rates of malnutrition to vegetarianism and figure-conscious Gujarati girls.
In a rare new interview to the Wall Street Journal, Modi has said the middle class is more beauty conscious than health conscious. That is a challenge. If a mother tells her daughter to have milk, they'll have a fight. She'll tell her mother, I won't drink milk, I'll get fat. This response, of course, was after a question about how roughly half of Gujarati children under 5 were stunted or too short for their age as of 2006, according to the latest available figures from the Indian government.
Well, among the country's industrial states with a high per capita income, Gujarat ranks quite low on health and nutrition. It also performs worse than the national average and some of the poorest states on other human development indices in the country. According to the third National Family Health Survey, over 41% of Gujarati children under 3 years of age are underweight, quite a bit worse than the national average. So all of this, of course, tells you that the state of malnutrition in Gujarat isn't really a subject to be joked with or to be toyed with or to be left to normal excuses like vegetarianism or figure-conscious Gujarati girls. It is a real problem in the state. Yet, the Chief Minister says that it is something to do with the middle class's obsession with beauty rather than health.
In fact, joining us now on the phone line is activist Mallika Sarabhai. What do you make of this logic put forth by the Gujarat Chief Minister, where he says that girls these days are very beauty conscious, which is why they're anemic and the rates of malnutrition among children are skyrocketing in the state?
Well, it's such a facetious statement, because when under 3-year-olds are malnutritioned, it means that they basically never catch up. And it's an extremely serious state, because if you're saying that our young are our wealth, then we are going to have 50% of our young, when they are youngsters or when they're adolescents, are not going to be able to either hit an IQ which is normal or a health quotient which is normal. And looking at Mr. Modi's waistline, he obviously isn't health conscious, so he does have lots of milk that his mother must have been telling him about.
Shiv Vishwanathan is also with us. He's a sociologist. He's written extensively and watched Narendra Modi from close quarters. Shiv, what do you make of what Modi has said? We've seen him, being really conscious about the way he looks, the things he says. A rare interview to the Wall Street Journal, he puts malnutrition in Gujarat down to figure consciousness.
Well, if Modi's ideas of politics are cosmetic, I don't see why his ideas of health can't be equally cosmetic. I think one has to realize that this might be Modi's attempt at doing humor, and I must say he's poor at humor and he's worse at health. Well, I think you've got a serious problem here. From feticide to malnutrition, Gujarat is facing major problems. And I think to a certain extent, Modi has to see it beyond the joke. But I think maybe the joke is the beginning of a new literacy about health. So we have to thank Wall Street Journal for reminding Modi that he hasn't done his homework properly.
Mallika Sarabhai, we've seen Narendra Modi being very, very careful when reaching out to his constituencies, especially the middle class. That really is his core constituency. Why would he make such a facetious statement about malnutrition in his state and draw in the middle class?
I agree with Shiv that I think he thinks he's making a joke, and he is not. And, malnutrition, from what doctors tell me, is not in any one class. It's rural, it's urban, it's amongst the very rich children, and it is a very, very serious issue. And I think Modi missed the mark on this one.
Shiv, final question on this. It is, if it's a bad joke, then if it was a joke, then it was in really poor taste. But how has Modi really fared? I mean, this was a pretty extensive interview he's given to the Wall Street Journal, and the joke apart, how has Modi really fared as far as malnutrition is concerned?
See, I don't think Modi understands GDP problems. I think he's very good at GNP problems. And to a certain extent, you also have to remember that Gujarat has a huge sector of the population which is nomadic and pastoral. You've got a huge tribal population. I think to a certain extent, you've got to understand the middle class doesn't exhaust Gujarat. It might exhaust Modi's imagination. And let's be fair to Modi. He might have cracked the joke in English, Let's be relaxed about it. But to expect Modi to be an Amartya Sen is a bit unfair, no?
All right, Shiv Vishwanathan, Mallika Sarabhai, a very interesting take on Mr. Narendra Modi's quote to the Wall Street Journal. We're still waiting for a political reaction. We'll in fact track that down as well. For now, thank you both for joining us with that quick reaction.